Hey guys, Coach Lynn here. I am super excited to be able to do your training for today. We're going to be learning today on how to expand your network. And I just want to first start off by saying you guys are doing amazing. We've had so many of you already hitting Emerald. And I know each and every one of the people on this leadership coaches, we all believe in you and know that each and every one of you has it in you to do this. So if there's anything extra that we can do above and beyond these trainings, please reach out to any one of us. I know we would all be happy to extend any help that we can to each and every one of you. So kudos for all of you who are doing amazing, to those that have already hit Emerald. Holla! So anyway, let's get back to expanding your network. So this is a really fun topic for me because it was kind of a block wall for me for a long time. So being able to share this and now kind of teach it and pay forward what I've learned over the last couple of years is really a privilege to me. So let's get started with Facebook. Facebook is probably one of the number one avenues that we all use when it comes to networking our business. But there's so many more avenues that you guys can be using and just putting into the pot of gold to how you're going to be building relationships and building your contact list. So let's go over a few of those. Let's start with Facebook. Facebook, I recommend that on a daily average, or maybe 3 days out of the week or 4 days out of the week, whatever your magic number is, take those days. I do recommend that you do it every day until you've reached a really good number. You know, set a goal number, like you want to hit 500. If you've already hit 500, go for 700. If you've already hit 700, go for 1,000. You know, set these little goals for you, and when you reach those milestones, you're going, yes, I did it. But what I recommend you do daily, if you're not comfortable doing daily, remember what I said before, 5 people a day to your contact list, or your friend list, if you will. So what you're going to be doing is, and where I really struggled with this one, my biggest problem was just reaching down and hitting that add button. It was really hard for me. I didn't want to do it, and I can't really explain to you why I didn't. I guess it was just outside my comfort zone, and one day there was a group of us girls in a chat, and I just said, you know what, let's just go for 5. So we all did. But I'm going to tell you this, you want to make sure that you keep it at about 5 a day. You don't want to go any more than that, because then you end up in what's called Facebook jail, and nobody wants to go there because you get put in there for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes longer. So that part of it's not worth it. You can do it. There's so many different ways you can. You know, when I was going through some of my friends that I had friend requested on Facebook that I went to high school with, I would go through their friend list, and it would say that there was like 25 or 66 or whatever the number was, other mutual friends. And I would look at some of these people and I would think, I don't remember that person at all. So what I kind of recommend, if you see faces that you don't recognize, I recommend you pick up your yearbooks, if you still have them available to you, and go through those, because you know what I found is that we all change. When we grow up, we don't all look the same as we did in high school. Well, not all of us. I'm hoping I still do, but Shakeology. Anyway, most of us don't look the same as we did in high school. Our bodies have changed, our faces have changed, our eyes have changed. There's so many things that I have found have changed that you may just not recognize the name, but once you see that face in the yearbook, you're going, I remember him. That's how I really started building, because I started recognizing, yes, I did know that person. Yes, we did have this class together. And I would go through, and I'm telling you, my names were limitless. The next step that I did was I actually went to my pastor's page. Yes, I went to my pastor's page. And I started going through his friends. And there were like hundreds of people that we're both mutual friends with in church. And yeah, I wasn't a friend with them on Facebook. So I started going through his list, and I would kind of go back and forth. Those are just a couple of ways that you can start building your Facebook friend base. So other networks that you can go to. Well, we all know there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Pinterest. There's a new app out there called, and I think you can only get it on iPhones at this time, but it's called Cody. And it's strictly for athletics. So these are people that are just wanting that daily motivation, that aren't looking for anybody to sell them anything, but they're going into this group chat and they're just wanting to focus on motivation, whether it's at the gym, and you can put in what workout you did that day. And it's a fairly new app, so I recommend that we don't go in there flooding it as Beachbody coaches and saying, hey, this is what we're doing and da 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 da. But you can add like T25 or 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme. We've got so many workouts. Just put that as your gym workout, because let's face it, it's a gym workout. But that's a fairly new one. Pinterest is a pretty untainted network that we have at our fingertips. It's one that I plan to have nailed down by the end of this year. I've actually invested in taking special courses to learn that. There's several free things through YouTube and on the internet to give you those tips on how to work excuse me, your Pinterest business. Also, Instagram is a huge one. Huge. And I know some of you are already using it, but here's a little tip that Chalene Johnson gives on how to really expand your network for Instagram. And that is, go through and find those people that you have that common, interest in, which is probably health and fitness. And what she says to do is go in and like 6 of their pictures. And as you're liking 6 of those pictures, make sure that you're commenting on at least one and then start following. What that does is that creates an interest for them in you, because they see that you've liked 6 of their pictures, that you've commented on one, and 9 times out of 10, they will follow you. So that's just a little tip on how you can build your Instagram. I've heard that the numbers are huge. Instagram is another one that I'm planning on nailing by the end of this year. Those are the 2 that I'm expanding. I can't share a lot with you guys about Twitter. If you're already doing Twitter, I know there's just a lot of hashtags and ats and a lot to be learned there. So if that's something that you're passionate about, learn it. Whichever avenue you choose to learn, make sure you're doing it with your heart. Make sure you're going in with all your feet and go for it. One other tip with Facebook that I can highly recommend, and I'm sure you have seen this in many of your other trainings and maybe just a few, who knows, but what you definitely want to make sure that you're doing is you want to grow and join different groups. So what are some of your interests? Like we were just talking about with Instagram. Some of your interests may be, and I'll use myself as an example, is this was another big wall for me that I had not done until this year. And that was to go out and join these groups. I have several interests, but I really didn't know exactly where to narrow that down to. Well, I was having some struggles with some issues that I had been having with having a hysterectomy. I had a hysterectomy a couple of years ago. And I was struggling internally with these different things that were going on. So I joined a Hyster Sisters, where I had no idea how many groups there were for women that are going through or have gone through the hysterectomy process. And I've got to tell you, I've done a lot of healing. I've met a lot of amazing women in there, and we are building those relationships. Am I in those groups to start selling stuff and, hey, you just had a hysterectomy and you're feeling great, you should start this workout? No. You are not about going into these groups thinking with a salesy mind. You are going into these groups to gain those relationships, to build those relationships. Once you build those relationships and you feel safe and that person feels safe, friend request. Then you can start building in other directions. They're going to see your posts about what you're doing in your fitness walk. They're going to see the success that you've hit after your hysterectomy. Again, I'm using my example. I also love Labrador Retrievers. I have 2 right now, and I've had several over the years. I love my dogs. They are my furry animals. Every time a kid leaves home, I get another dog. Inside joke, but hey, I have 4 dogs and I love each and every one of them. And not that they would ever take the place of my kids, but I wanted to be around other people in a group that we could chit chat about our furry family. So that was another avenue for me. One more little idea that might spark something in you is another interest or hobby, or actually it was my background for quite a few years, was I was a florist. And so as I started searching to see florist groups, I was amazed when I found how many florist groups there were. I dove in, I joined, and I was accepted into a few. And I've been beginning to build those relationships again. And it's given me a little bit of boost to get my hands green again into the floral business. So not only are you building relationships with other people, but there may be areas that you've kind of put on the back burner for a long time that this is going to spark an interest in you. And what is that going to do? That's going to build an even bigger audience because you're expanding what you're already doing. You're reintroducing things into your life, or again, you're expanding on what you already do. One more thing, and then I'm going to wrap up this video. This has been huge in my networking and expanding my business. Fit Club. If you guys don't know what Fit Club already is, I highly recommend that you go into your back office and you look into exactly what Fit Club is, what it does, and how you can help others physically. You are interacting with these people physically, face to face. They're seeing you in action. They're seeing you sweat live. None of those sweaty selfies. They're right there in the picture with you. Fit Club is where we offer 1 day a week, 2 days a week, whatever works for your schedule and your time frame. You invite your community into this free workout with you, and you build those relationships. You're building that trust, and you're doing it completely free. There's other ways you can go about it in the back office. It gives you very detailed lists of how you can run your Fit Club. Remember, guys, you're the CEO of your business. You can do this however you want. What I did to grow my Fit Club, which I've got somewhere over 30 people now. Do they all show up every week? No. But I'm interacting with these ladies weekly on measurements, on goals, on whatever. And what that's doing is it's building the trust with these ladies. You guys, I have had several of them buying the programs, getting challenge packs, and just becoming clients of mine that I am helping hit these goals weekly. What I did to expand that was I would join any of the online yard sale groups or any of the free cycles, anywhere that I was able to advertise for free to get the word out that I was offering these. Also, I was going to churches in town that had an interest in, the women's community where they wanted to work on their health or fitness. Right now, in so many communities, is the biggest loser challenges in all your corporate worlds. So posting these online things was huge because there's people that are checking in weekly to hit these biggest loser corporate goals. So they needed that extra outlet. Bingo, you are gaining people into those business. I would love to do a whole series just on Fit Club because it has been so huge for my business. And I know if there's any fitness instructors out there, this is going to be a great avenue for you as well. Anyway, guys, I hope that you've been able to take some golden nuggets away. Remember, build, 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 never stop building. Step outside your comfort zones. I know it's super hard to hit the add button, but you can do it. I know you can. Just start with 3 to 5 people a day. Build your network, hit some goals, set some goals of how many people you want to add to your contact list, and begin to build. Without building, you're going to go stagnant, and you don't want that to happen. Have a super blessed day, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.